What's up, guys? Back here working on the Jeep a little bit today. Decided to do a little bit to it. Went over and met up with Steve Mead, and he said he would hook me up with some of these. These are the box terminals that he has. Very good quality, you can see. Really clean. So we're going to do a custom application with these today. They're going in the back of the wall here. As you can see, we got the vinyl wrap and everything's set up pretty clean. And to set it off, I wanted to trim it in with the SMDs. So we have 6 subs. We've got a 6 order bandpass wall here. So what I was going to do is go ahead and run 3 of these so that we could wire up each pair. As you can see, you could put 2 subs on here essentially. So we'll put a pair on each, and they'll line up in the back right here. So on this side we're going to have bolts, and then on the rear side we'll have the SMD covers here. So normally these come so that they're long enough bolts that you can pretty much just bolt to the back of this, mount it in your box. In my application, my wall is probably about 3 inches deep, so I have to make sure I can go all the way through that. So I'm going to use some threaded rod and make custom length and mount the threaded rod into the wall. Then all these are really going to do is serve as trim, so they'll just kind of slide onto the threaded rod, and I can finish my connections from there. So we're going to go ahead and experiment with that. So first thing is I decided to make a little template here of the layout. So that's the spacing and the size of everything, as you can see there. Lines up. And that's the size of this smaller part. That's the part I'm going to be cutting out of my trim piece. And once we figure out where all those are going to go, then we'll drill through the wall and run our thread, all thread through it. So we'll go ahead and give that a shot and see where we go with that. This is the all thread right here. We cut those to custom lengths, and I got all my hardware here. As you can see, we got all kind of washers. I'm gonna go ahead and do a stainless right here. It'll snap in pretty clean. As you can see, they fit good. So we'll go ahead and mock that up and see where we go. Alright, so now we're in the wall, looking at it from this side, because this is going to be my only real reference in order to know where my height is, because I can't really accurately measure where the level of this baffle is in the back, because there's so many different heights and getting it right would be hard. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is set my level just right there on top of this baffle. Let's find my center of the box from side to side. I'm going to place one right here in the center, and then go ahead and drill right through at least 1 hole, and that will give me my reference for where the rest are going to go and where to start cutting this guy out. So what I'm going to do is a found center, and then I'm going to put some tape, some masking tape on here so I can make a clean drill and not hurt too much, and hopefully go through on the other side into my trim panel and not damage it too much. And then that'll give me a reference for where I'm going to be, and hopefully I don't hit any screws or anything on the way through. I guess we'll just have to find out. So one's going to go there, and then I have my ports right here, so I figured the other one go there and there, so I'll measure those out. But first thing, I'm just going to cover that with some tape and make sure I don't hurt the paint too much. So let's give that a shot. Alright, so that went pretty well. They went all the way through. They're looking pretty good, lined up with the template. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out where I want the other 2. Come around to the other side. You can see how they all poked through. So there they are. I don't know if you could see through there, but there's a hole into the box. Focus now. And so the other 2 should just kind of end up alongside of that one. And the next thing, I'm going to take my template, line it back up with these, and trace out where I'm going to cut, so I can insert the whole thing in there. So I'll go ahead and do a little more and show you where I end here. Cutting these down the size I need. I don't have that mounted down, but you get the idea. So we'll just get the rest of those. And then they come out looking like this guy. And I clean the edges with a file and then polish. So I mean, it's not bad. I thread our nuts on. I'm gonna go ahead and make the rest of those. We also got our Sky-Hi 8 gauge here, Sky-Hi car audio. So I'm gonna put some ring terminals on those and the heat shrinks, and they'll be ready to run inside the box. So a little bit of work, but we'll make it happen. All right, so we got the studs put in. You can see they stick out like that. And on the inside, they'll stick out too, like that. And our wires go to it. And then we'll get the rest done, and then we can put the SMD terminals on and show you guys how it came out. So that's how I like to run my wires into boxes or anything. I just use either a bolt or a threaded rod with the right amount of washers and lock nuts on it, and then makes it real easy. So with these ones, you can see I can just undo it and pull my speaker wire off, and the stud stays with the wall. So that's the way I like to do it. So yeah, gonna finish up with it and then let you guys see what it came out like. So I got a couple tricks here I'm gonna show you on how I'm getting these nuts put on. So these are lock nuts basically, so they're kind of hard to thread, and you wouldn't be able to thread it on to a rod like this without a little help. So what I do is I lock two of the regular nuts together at one end, and then I can clamp the rod in my clamp here. It's not mounted very well, but then I can go here and just thread it on as I wish. And then when it's done, I'm setting it to about that far down the rod. So when I go ahead and put the rod in the wall, I'll have a washer with it, and I'll go right in and stop. And then I'll come in through the other side, put my other lock nut on. What I'll do on this side is get a regular nut here and lock it to this one and hold a wrench here, so the whole rod's locked again, and you can come from the inside of the wall and just tighten everything down. So that's how I did these four. They're all locked in there like that. So it worked out pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting my pieces together here, and we'll go start putting them in the wall. All right guys, so here's the finished product. I ran out of lugs, so I have to wire this last one up. I'm gonna go get some more, but you get the idea. Those look really good back there. Steve really hit it out of the park with these. So those are gonna be very nice. So I left enough slack here so I can wire up to my amps wherever they end up. And we got all the batteries back in, and yeah, so the last thing that goes in here is just gonna build an amp rack, get all the amps, and then do some LED lighting. Another thing that Steve hooked me up with, which is gonna be one of the biggest things we see back here, is this guy. Don't really know how it's gonna get mounted in there, but as you can see, that'll look really cool. So we're gonna definitely do something where it's like right out here in front, right in front of all the amps or something. So but this is the big boy fuse holder, 16 spot, thanks to Steve, my boy Scobie down there. So that's gonna get looking pretty good. A little view of the front now. This is what we'll see when we're looking in the box. I'm gonna clean up all the wiring, but it'll run, you know, with all the subs. So however I can make it look good and do the job. But that's a lot of 8 gauge. That's 50 foot. Pretty much used it all. But we're all wired up. other than those few on the other side. So next is to get the ports in. So if you guys need ports, you go on Facebook and look up Big Ass Ports. Super cool guy. Basically makes all the standard sizes, but he has these customizable lengths. You can see there's a little groove in that one, so you can click other ones in there. So you can play with the length of these. It really makes it nice for tuning. But you get the idea. It goes in there right there, however long I need it. I have some more parts over there of it, and I'm gonna get that adjusted as I go, and then it's gonna get painted black. So there'll be 2 of those sticking up in the back, nice and black, and then we'll have the 612s here, and we should be getting those within the next month from Jeff of JVF Customs. And that should look pretty good in there. So it's coming. Next thing is obviously get the port figured out. Once I have subs and amps, I can start playing with the port size. But I'm gonna put bolts through all these holes, so I can bolt it on. We'll start vinyling, and I can get my console in here and the door panels. And then once all those things are made, basically it's just putting everything together. You know, I'm getting down to the end of the real fabrication. I mean, the door panels are going to take some time, and the consoles take some time, and the A-pillars, but other than that, it's just mostly just cleaning up my factory interior parts, you know, by painting them, getting a headliner in, and carpet, and then if I can get it done, get the seats reupholstered, something, and you know, really clean the look up of this car. But for tonight, I think we're good. Just busy. We have some other ideas for like all this chrome here. If I can go through and polish all this chrome. My sticker guy has a kind of like a tint vinyl stuff where it's translucent, and you can wrap it on the chrome. So it's actually like a colored chrome. It's gonna look pretty cool actually, and it'll be black, so I'll be doing like a black chrome, and these emblems, I'm gonna take all the plasti dip off of them and redo them in that, so you can see they're chrome too. Plasti dip gonna come off, and then we can wrap them in that chrome, black chrome stuff, and I think that will look really nice. And that's gonna be in conjunction with probably a paint job. We'll get the car repainted. It's 20-year-old paint. I want to refresh it and make it look good, get some shine to it. And then so we'll be black and tan on everything, and we'll get the stickers updated on the windows probably. Keep that stealth look, but I want to get some other things added. So I mean, it's coming along. It's going to be a hell of a build once it's done. Just a matter of time and money. But that's what we're looking at, guys. So we'll leave you with this. Shout out to Steve Mead and Brandon Scobie. They always do me good. Shout out to Full Throttle for the batteries, and DC Audio for the amplifiers are going in, and JVF Customs for the subs, and McLaren Audio through Sky High Car Audio. I'm gonna shout out for Sky High and McLaren. Sky High is all the wiring, and then McLaren will be all the mids and highs, like over here. There's just some of them, all the Neo 8s and stuff, so it should be pretty cool. But we can call it a night, guys. Alright guys, a little more done. Basically this is going to be the port I'm going to start out with. 6 orders need a pretty high tune port in the front, so it's not very deep, and it's pretty large, so it's about 4" deep. We'll just do a little setup like that. I'm going to start at about 312 square inches and just slowly work it down. But basically, if I can open this door, basically goes in here like so, and it's gonna get bolted on. But that's the port. So it's removable if I need to adjust it or need a little more space to get in and out to load subs. So there's all that. So that's about all I got done today. We spent the day cleaning the shop up a little bit. So maybe tomorrow I'll get a little more done. But we got some room in here now. A lot more room. Like way more than we were dealing with before. So I've got to sweep up and call it a day, but we're gonna do some bolts on that. So this is gonna be painted like a gloss black, and then the wall is gonna get the tan vinyl. Should look pretty good. And then maybe start working on a console or something. Tomorrow I don't have a router right now because my buddy had to borrow it. So see what I can do with these door panels. I'll probably like make them fit just the way I want them, get everything plotted out, do it the same on that one, get the doors as far along as I can without a router. Get these fiberglass together maybe. Like I got some staples. I can staple through this and then like fold the staples real tight and then just start glassing this part together because these are separate. This top piece came from the original door panel, so I'm utilizing that because it's got a nice little edge there and I can wrap it. So just clean that up. So I think I'll be able to do quite a bit without a router tomorrow. I also need to start doing some Bondo on this front here, really get it smoothed out and prepped for vinyl. You know, I want it as flat as possible, so we can get that vinyled, and then you know, do the body work on that as soon as I've decided on the final port size. So it's going to stay raw until I get some play time. So that's kind of where we're at. Really just kind of waiting now on getting a little more work so I can get some money to set aside for getting carpet, get some carpet in here, and then the headliner, and then all the vinyl material. And then I should really start being able to slap this thing together. And we're hoping Jeff comes through with the subs pretty soon, within the next month or so. You know, I told him June would be nice. He says it could be done before then, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so it's coming along. Coming along. We'll get it there. Alright guys, I'm gonna call this a day. Come back tomorrow and do a little more, and we'll do some more video. So I guess what I can try to do is do a whole video separate just for how to do the door panels in this thing. I'm doing them from scratch. So if you guys are interested in a nice little door panel video, then we'll go ahead and do that. But anyway, I'll just continue with my series like I have. I'm not really going in depth on what I'm doing. I'm just kind of giving you guys updates as I go. But it is what it is. But if you want to do a little more detail in these videos, I can try to do that. Okay. Till later, guys.